Her phone buzzed at 2:17 a.m., a single vibration, short, nervous, like someone afraid to call but too desperate to stay silent. I wasn't supposed to be awake, but insomnia has a way of gifting you truths you never asked for. I watched her from the doorway, the pale light of the screen painting her face. She didn't blink, didn't breathe normally, just stared, frozen, as if the message trapped her. Then she whispered something I wasn't meant to hear, a tremble, barely a breath. "Please, don't do this. Not to me. Never to me." Her voice wasn't the voice of a wife, it was the voice of someone cornered. She didn't notice me, not until I stepped forward and the floorboard cried beneath my weight. Her head jerked up. Phone turned face down instantly, eyes wide. Too wide, I asked. A question, not concern. "Yeah, just couldn't sleep." She forced a smile. Too bright, too sharp. "Try to get some rest, okay?" I held her gaze a moment longer than comfort allowed. She flinched first. Something was wrong, horribly wrong. But I didn't ask again, didn't pry, not yet. I simply walked back to bed, letting the silence swallow the space between us. And as I stared at the ceiling in the dark, one truth pressed itself into my skull. Whatever that message was, it wasn't meant for a surrogate mother. It was meant for a woman hiding something. And I was done pretending not to see. When she first told me she wanted to be a surrogate for her sister and brother-in-law, I tried to understand. I really did. "It's my body, my choice," she repeated like a shield she wanted to hide behind. "It's family. They need me." But something inside me tightened with every word. Not jealousy, not insecurity, instinct. The kind of instinct you get after years of studying the micro-expressions of someone who swears they love you. I remember her smile that day. It didn't reach her eyes. Her fingers trembled when she talked about helping them, and her sister avoided my gaze entirely. I wasn't a fool, and I wasn't a villain. But there was something, an unspoken tension, pulling all of us under the same dark water. When she insisted on handling the appointments alone, I gave her space. When her sister stopped visiting, when her brother-in-law started behaving like a ghost, always disappearing when I arrived, I stayed silent. But suspicion is a seed, quiet, patient. It grows in darkness. And that night, after the 2:17 a.m. message, it bloomed. I started replaying every conversation, every odd glance, every too quick explanation. And one question echoed louder than all the rest. Why does a surrogate flinch when her husband walks into the room? I didn't confront her. Confrontation is emotional, messy, predictable. I chose the opposite. I observed, quietly. She kept her phone closer now, took it to the bathroom, showered with it propped on the counter, screen down. She had become a fortress built out of secrecy. I noticed the appointments didn't match the clinic schedule. Her sister wasn't receiving updates. And her brother-in-law, well, he looked at the ground whenever our paths crossed. Something wasn't adding up. So I started pulling at the threads. A DNA test kit sent anonymously to the clinic. A duplicate set of her medical reports accessed through a loophole she didn't know existed. Phone records pulled from our shared account. She had forgotten the plan was under my name. Every detail was a crack in her story, and the cracks were widening. One night I saw her crying quietly on the balcony, hand on her stomach, phone in the other, a text message glowing on the screen. "We should tell him. He deserves to know." From her brother-in-law. She deleted it immediately. I felt a strange calm wash over me. Not rage, not heartbreak, just clarity. It was time for the truth. The DNA report arrived 3 days later. I opened it alone. Lines of clinical text, numbers, percentages, cold, unbiased. And there it was. The baby wasn't related to her sister at all. But it was related to her brother-in-law and her. I didn't breathe for a moment, didn't blink. I just felt something inside me settle into place. an emotional vertebra snapping into alignment. That evening, I placed the report on the kitchen table. No accusations, no yelling, just paper and truth. She walked in, saw it, and her entire body collapsed inward. A soft gasp, a trembling hand covering her mouth. Tears forming instantly, as if she had been waiting for permission to shatter. You weren't supposed to see that," she whispered. I said nothing. Her knees buckled. She sank into the chair, sobbing, choking on words. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. We didn't mean—" I raised a hand. Silence. The kind of silence that suffocates. Her eyes widened in terror. She finally understood. I already knew. Her family arrived within hours. Her sister crying. Her brother-in-law looking like a man facing execution. They begged, all of them, begged for forgiveness, begged for understanding, begged for me to help raise the baby because we're still family. I watched them crumble. Calm, detached, distant. Then I spoke. Just one sentence. Not my baby. Not my problem. Her sister collapsed sobbing. Her brother-in-law's face drained of all color. My wife looked at me as though I had stabbed her. But I felt nothing, absolutely nothing. Because betrayal doesn't earn emotion. It earns consequence. I packed quietly, left the house before dawn. No goodbye, no dramatic exit, just freedom. Cold, clean freedom. She kept calling for weeks, texting, begging. But you can't unshatter trust. You can only step over the pieces. I didn't block her. I didn't reply either. Silence is a verdict all its own. And the final truth? She chose her body. She chose her choice. And I chose mine. Some betrayals don't need revenge, just distance. And I've never been farther from her than I am now. Final line? I didn't walk away from her. I walked back to myself.